finally understood why drivers who run night shifts have so many rules. For example, if you feel tired at night and want to sleep, never get out of the car. No matter how much you need to go to the bathroom, you must hold out until dawn. Or when you pass through a tunnel, always honk. 1 honk for a circular tunnel, 3 honks for a square tunnel. And the final rule is the most critical. If you see discarded clothes on the road, no matter how good they look, never stop the car to pick them up. At first, I dismissed these claims as superstitious nonsense, but after an incident in 2002 during a trip, the eerie events could truly challenge your understanding. If you're feeling scared, tag your bravest friends to watch this together. Back in 2002, I hadn't managed to pass my college entrance exams. Seeing me idle at home all the time, my parents thought it was no solution and arranged for me to join my second uncle on his long-distance truck trips. Honestly, the idea was just for him to keep an eye on me, but for me, it was just playing games in a different setting. The incident happened that day right after I finished a round of gaming, planning to rest my eyes. Suddenly, my attention was caught by something strange on the road ahead, a discarded piece of clothing. Its style was very trendy back then and seemed likely dropped by accident from the car ahead. Seeing this, I immediately perked up and urged my uncle to stop the truck so I could grab it, but as soon as I spoke, his face darkened. He not only refused to stop, but snapped angrily. Just as I thought he was overreacting, he switched gears and shared an eerie story from his youth. The story happened roughly 10 years ago. At the time, my uncle was new to the trucking business and worried about his lack of experience, so he invited a friend along to help supervise. Just before arriving at the destination, the friend suddenly asked him to stop the truck. Assuming his friend needed to take a break, my uncle complied and hit the brakes. However, rather than heading off to relieve himself, his friend hurried over to retrieve an abandoned piece of clothing by the road. Since my uncle was inexperienced at the time, he didn't understand truck driving superstitions and chose to overlook it. The friend picked up the clothing, examined it carefully, and realized it was brand new. He grinned ear to ear, delighted, and promptly put it on. My uncle couldn't do anything about his friend's cheap thrill-seeking impulsiveness, only able to accompany with a hollow laugh. But what second uncle didn't expect was that the forced smile at that moment became his very last expression in this world. Uncle I happened to observe a truck abruptly emerging ahead, barreling uncontrollably toward them. Shun shouted loudly to Song Rentu to evade, but the moment was already too late. With an earth-shaking crash, Song Rentu vanished entirely. Second uncle stepped out of the vehicle with a light-hearted expression to investigate. But on the empty road, there was only a large pool of blood, and no sign of Song Rentu could be found. Second uncle then began to imagine the worst possible outcome. He tremblingly approached the front of the truck and bent down to look. Even though second uncle had already anticipated what he might see, when confronted with the sight before him, his pupils contracted instantly. Song Rento's body was crushed and bloodied, his head flattened completely. The man was as dead as he could be. After second uncle finished speaking, cold sweat soaked my back. If what second uncle said was true, my fate could end up like Song Rentu's. As second uncle watched my unmoved expression, he thought I didn't believe him, so he added, "This wasn't mere coincidence." As second uncle spent more time in this field, he often heard seasoned drivers say that the clothes thrown out on roads had great significance. It said that people experiencing bad luck or frequent illness buy new clothes, wear them once and then throw them onto the road, believing that the passing cars crushing them can carry away their misfortunes. And if someone picks up those clothes, they might end up bearing all the bad luck instead. Initially, I was quite scared. After hearing what second uncle said, I found myself uncertain whether to believe it or not. I had thought there might be many cases like Song Rentu's. But after learning this, I now view them as mere coincidences, incidents pieced together, exaggerated over time, made to seem more ominous than they are.